It's market day report. Okay, let's see what's happening with this corn market. Can we finish higher? If so, it would be 3 straight days and trying to really uh, work our way into that 9% year-to-date loss. Yeah, corn market down 9% year-to-date. Wheat market's down 10%, cotton down 7%, oats off 8. Rice market, though, probably hit the hardest year to date. It's down 25%. Back to corn, though, at 420 and a half. It's off 3 3/4 cents. Over to beans, and beans up 12 3/4, 10.19 1/4. What about soy meal contracts? Well, we're higher here, and bean oil. Yep, look at those gains. We're looking at nearly a penny gain on the December and January contracts. So what's driving it higher? Let's go to the Vice President of Zaner Ag Hedge, Ted Seifried. Ted, soybean complex higher. So what's the fuel behind this?
Yeah, I think there's two things here, Tony. For one, soybean oil continues to find some strength based on President Trump's post on Truth Social from, I guess, 2 days ago now about maybe not doing any more business with China on vegetable oils. But the market believes he means used cooking oil that we've been using for our biodiesel. The thing about that, Tony, is that with the new tax 45Z plan, there's no real incentive to bring in Chinese used cooking oil. So we're already kind of tapering off that. I don't know if that has a profound effect about for our soybean oil demand going forward, but the market likes it. The other thing I'll say is we saw crush yesterday, which was really fantastic, and soybean oil stocks actually declined a little bit, even though crush was up pretty significantly over August for the month of September. So yeah, I mean, there's some reasons for soybean oil to be finding some strength here. Soybeans are trying to follow, but the timing of this last 8 cents or so that we just rallied in soybeans does kind of coincide with the Chinese foreign minister speaking, using some softer language on trade, and in particular talking about increased investment into China, talking to Apple, welcoming a deeper cooperation with China. And these are again, this is going back and forth like in the wind, Tony, but this is China sounding a little bit more, I don't know, agreeable to having some positive talks about trade. So, with a lack of any USDA reports right now, we are trading headlines and we have no shortage of those at the moment, Tony. The problem with them is that they're very conflicting. One minute it feels like one thing, another minute it feels like something else. And so you've got markets that are very choppy, very flighty, and again, hanging on headlines.
And all I can picture in my mind is being on I'm sure you've been out deep sea fishing and you're out there and the boat's doing this number and you're back and forth. And if you're not careful, you end up hanging over the side with a reversal of fortune. I would imagine our markets are somewhat like that right now. Okay, let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk livestock futures with Ted Seifried. This is Market Day Report. Still no cash trade when it comes to cattle. Asking prices are at least 240. We're hearing some 238s in the north. We'll see if that happens today. Right now, though, packers are in the red, deeper in the red than they really wanted. Well, I guess if you're in the red, do you want to go any deeper? That doesn't even make sense. But the fact is, packers are looking for any way to curb some of the losses. Right now, live cattle futures are moving higher. And look at the December contract. We've hit 247.95. We're at 247.70. But the one I want you to look at is the April. We're trading 250.50. And that's a new all-time high. Actually, the 250.87 we hit earlier today is an all-time high. So again, ringing that all-time high bell again for live cattle. Can we do it again with feeders? Well, we got close with the November, but we've backed off of it. 381 even on the November. It's 32 higher. Hog market, CME lean hog index down 58 cents at 97.99. and we're watching bellies lose $4 this week. Hogs mixed trade. Ted Seifried, Zaner Ag Hedge. What are you watching here in the livestock sector?
I mean, the cattle just going up, up and up, I suppose. It occurs to me, Tony, we talked this time last week, as we do every week, and we were saying, the feeder cattle have broken out into new highs and continue to do that every day. But the live cattle contracts, at least the front month or December, hadn't really done that. It had been happening in the deferred, and that was kind of reflecting sort of near-term demand concerns, maybe. But since then, and by the way, we use the saying, the feeders are the leaders, and said that maybe live cattle would within the next week pick it up and get up into new highs, and they have done that. So this is all very healthy things happening in the cattle complex. There's really not much you can say about that cattle chart technically that says, oh, we are doomed for putting in a high at anytime in the relatively near future. I mean, it all looks very good. We've never ever really been oversold in this market or even gotten close to it. We've continuously hung out in overbought territory, but not really had a problem with it. I mean, it's just a bull market. There's really not much else to say about that. And, the longer term outlook is that, hey, we're not going to have really any way to increase our animal supply. We had higher weights through 2025. But is that even going to be possible in 26 because the push to market? I mean, it's just a perpetual bullish sort of fundamental supply side situation in the cattle complex until something major changes or that border reopens, or maybe we're bringing Brazilian beef in again in a bigger way. So for right now, it's a bull market, Tony. There's nothing you can really argue about there. On the other hand, you've got hogs that have had the deeper correction that are trying to find this like near term bottom and maybe bounce back up towards those highs, but you haven't really seen any very convincing evidence of that yet either.
Yeah, good points there. Ted Seifrieds with Zaner Ag Hedge. By the way, you can pick up Ted's conversation with us on Commodity Wrap. That's on Sirius 147 Rural Radio, and that's tomorrow with Commodity Wrap. He does that every Friday afternoon.